Welcome, curious minds, to the deep dive. Today, we're plunging into a topic that feels almost unreal, the world of athlete salaries. Think about this for a second. Back in 1930, Babe Ruth earned, what, $80,000? A huge amount then.
Right, a fortune for its time.
Exactly. Adjusted for inflation, maybe $1.4 million today. Still great money. But then you look at someone like LeBron James pulling in $48 million a year.
Just from his contract.
It's a completely different stratosphere, isn't it?
Totally. And it makes you wonder, are we heading towards, like, billion-dollar athletes? Or is this whole thing a giant bubble about to pop? So that's our mission today. We're going to dig into the reports, the analyses, the predictions, sources you've all shared with us. We want to figure out what forces are really at play here. What does it mean for the athletes, the leagues, and importantly for you, the fan, and for the future of sports itself?
It's definitely a fascinating journey.
Absolutely. Glad to have you with us. Yeah, it's been a meteoric rise, no doubt about it. What we're seeing isn't just, bigger paychecks. It feels more like an economic revolution happening off the court, really changing the whole landscape of pro sports.
A revolution. That's a good way to put it.
I mean, NBA max deals hitting over $60 million a year. Soccer stars like Mbappe nearing $100 million. Once you factor in everything, the scale is just, well, it's seismic. It's a fundamental shift in how value works in sports now.
Okay, and while we get into all this, just a quick reminder, if you're enjoying this kind of deep dive, you can find loads more great info over at Mind Expansion Daily. Please do hit like and subscribe while you're there. It really helps us out.
Definitely helps get the word out.
For sure. Okay, so with that context, let's really unpack the current numbers because, wow, they are staggering. Take the NBA. The average salary in 2024, $10.2 million. That's like a 400% jump since 1990.
400%. That's incredible growth.
Isn't it? And it's not just averages. You've got Patrick Mahomes in the NFL pulling down $45 million annually. Shohei Ohtani signed that massive $700 million 10-year deal in baseball.
Yeah, the Ohtani deal really made headlines. Huge commitment.
And then Cristiano Ronaldo, $200 million a year in Saudi Arabia. That just blows everything else away almost.
It really does. It changes the global market dynamics.
And Forbes' 2024 list, the top 50 athletes averaged $45.2 million. That includes salary, endorsements, bonuses, everything.
Okay, so the big question is why, right?
Yeah.
What's actually driving these massive numbers? It really comes down to a few core things, all feeding into each other. First, broadcasting mega deals. They're huge.
Like the NBA's new deal.
Exactly. That $76 billion 11-year deal starting soon, it dwarfs their old $24 billion one. And crucially, that money directly pumps up the salary cap that teams can spend on players.
So more TV money means higher player salaries, directly linked.
Pretty much, yeah. The media value literally translates into player value. It gets baked right in. Then you have sponsorships. Brands are just pouring money in, betting on star power.
Like Nike and LeBron, Adidas and Messi. Those billion-dollar, $100 million deals.
Precisely. And it's not just the absolute top guys either. Even, solid role players or bench warmers in the NBA, their minimum salary is now $2 million. That's jumped 200% since 2010.
Wow. So the whole tide is rising.
It really is. It affects team depth, how agents negotiate, the whole structure.
Okay, that makes sense. But with all this money, are we seeing any cracks, any signs of strain?
That's the flip side, definitely.
Because the sources we looked at do mention some challenges, like small market teams, Memphis, for example. How do they compete financially with giants like the Lakers in LA?
It's tough. Big markets just have more local revenue potential, which helps fund those massive payrolls, creates an imbalance potentially.
And what about the teams themselves? Are they okay financially?
Well, that's a concern. A Sportico analysis from 2025 warned that maybe 40% of NBA teams are actually operating at a loss.
40%, really?
Yeah, squeezed by those max contracts and the luxury tax payments if they go over the spending limits.
So the system designed to help fairness might actually be straining some teams.
It's a delicate balance. And then you've got the fans.
Right. What are they saying?
Well, you see the discontent online, posts about ticket prices. The NBA average is over $100 now.
Ouch. Yeah, that's pricey for a family.
Exactly. And some frustration about stars seeming to chase the money rather than staying loyal to a team.
So the big question hangs there. Can this keep going? Can the trajectory hold? Or are we hitting some kind of limit?
That's the billion-dollar question, isn't it?
Literally. Okay, so let's dig even deeper into those revenue streams, broadcasting, sponsorships, and how does social media fit into this whole picture now?
Okay, yeah. The broadcasting deals are the real engine, as we said. That NBA $76 billion deal averages, what, $6.9 billion a year? Compare that to the NFL's TV haul, which is around $3 billion annually. Still huge, but the NBA's growth is just massive.
And it's not just traditional TV anymore, right? Streaming's a big part.
Oh, absolutely crucial. You've got Amazon Prime Video, now part of the NBA deal. That brings in younger fans, the cord cutters, plus global streaming platforms. Yeah. The NBA says it reached 1 billion unique viewers in 2024. That global reach is key.
And that massive audience justifies the huge rights fee.
Exactly. Which then, as we said, bumps up league revenue, boosts the salary cap. It jumped 10% to $141 million for 2024-25.
Allowing those $60 million max deals for stars like Jason Tatum.
Precisely. It's a direct pipeline. Viewership to revenue to salary cap to player contract.
Okay, and sponsorships running alongside that. You mentioned $80 billion market value in 2024.
Yeah, and projected to double to $160 billion by 2030. It's explosive growth.
Doubling in 6 years. Incredible.
And it's everywhere. Jersey patches on NBA uniforms. Teams are making $200 million just from those in 2024.
Just the patches.
That's the patches. And individual deals. Steph Curry's Under Armour deal is like $40 million a year. Serena Williams' Nike deal, over $20 million.
So it's this whole ecosystem feeding itself.
It is. And social media is now a massive, massive part of that ecosystem.
Yeah.
It's where, likes genuinely turn into dollars.
How does that work exactly? Is it just ads?
It's more than just ads for the athlete. Their personal brand, their reach. It directly empowers them in salary negotiations. Teams see that social media following as a tangible asset. It sells tickets, it sells merchandise, it boosts the team's own visibility.
So a player's Twitter following has actual dollar value to the tier.
Absolutely. Think about Kevin Durant, 13 million followers. One post from him could be worth $500,000 in ad value equivalent.
Wow.
Or Giannis Antetokounmpo's Instagram reels. Those dunks don't just look cool. They drive sales for his sponsors, boost his net worth, and make him more valuable to the Bucks.
Right. It's a quantifiable impact.
Exactly. PwC had a report suggesting 65% of athlete endorsement income in 2025 is tied to social media engagement.
65%. So it's not just a side thing, it's central.
Central. It changes the power dynamic. Athletes can build their own brand separate from the team, giving them more leverage.
Okay, so traditional media, sponsorships, personal branding via social media. Massive drivers. But you mentioned new frontiers, right? Things beyond the usual suspects.
Yeah, the revenue landscape is definitely expanding. We're seeing new streams come online that are also boosting salaries.
Like what?
Well, sports betting is a big one. It's like a gold rush right now.
Legalized in a lot more places now, isn't it?
Yep, 38 U.S. states by 2025. It's projected to be a $30 billion market by 2028.
And how does that connect to salaries?
Directly. Leagues are forming partnerships with betting companies. Think the NBA and FanDuel. That brings in billions, like $2 billion already flowing to leagues. That money goes into league revenue, which, again, helps push up the salary cap. Indirectly, maybe, but it's there.
And it probably increases engagement too, right? People watching because they have money on the game.
Absolutely. More engagement, more viewers staying tuned in, which helps justify those huge broadcast deals we talked about. It all connects. Millions of social media posts just about prop bets during games. It keeps people glued.
Okay, betting's one. What else? You mentioned esports. That feels like a wild card.
It really is. Global revenue hit $1.8 billion in 2024 with over 500 million viewers. That's a huge audience.
Not quite NBA numbers, but growing fast.
Extremely fast. And look at the NBA 2K League players, and they're not making LeBron money yet, obviously, but 100K, 200K, that's a 300% jump since just 2020.
So a new talent market is emerging there.
Right.
Yeah.
And think about the potential overlap. NBA teams owning esports franchises, cross-promoting, it brings in new revenue, new fans. It could definitely add upward pressure on traditional athlete salaries too by expanding the overall sports economy.
You could see esports stars making millions in the future.
Easily. Maybe $10 million contracts by 2035. It blends virtual and physical fandom. It's a whole new dimension.
And technology's role in all this, is it just enabling these things or actively amplifying them?
Oh, amplifying, for sure. AI-driven analytics, like from Sportradar, helps leagues and teams squeeze every last drop of revenue from betting data, fan behavior, everything.
Making things more efficient.
Exactly. And then you have new fan experiences. VR, for instance. The NBA's virtual courtside seats, charging $200 a game. That adds millions directly.
So tech creates new products to sell.
Right. And some projections, like from Forbes, suggest that all these streams combined, betting, esports,
Yeah.
tech enhancements could actually double salary caps by 2035.
Double them, leading to,
Potentially $100 million annual salaries for top NBA players.
wow, okay. So the picture is incredibly lucrative, driven by all these interconnected factors. But we touched on risks earlier. Let's pivot back to that. Can this bubble actually hold? Are there storm clouds we need to watch?
Yeah, it's definitely not a guaranteed upward path.
Yep.
There are significant risks. Economic volatility is a big one. Goldman Sachs mentioned, what, a 30% chance of a recession around 2027?
Right.
If that happens, consumer spending could take a hit, fewer people buying tickets, merchandise.
We already saw complaints about ticket prices spiking.
Exactly. That fan fatigue is real.
Yeah.
If people have less disposable income, they cut back on non-essentials, and sports tickets are often non-essential.
Which then hits team revenues.
And potentially sponsorship budgets, too. Companies cut back when the economy tightens. That directly impacts the money available for salaries. It's all linked.
And what about the financial health of the teams themselves? You mentioned 40% of NBA teams possibly losing money.
Yeah, the strain is real, especially with things like the luxury tax. The Warriors paid a $176 million tax bill in 2024 just for exceeding the spending cap.
That's an enormous penalty.
It is. And small market teams, like OKC maybe, they just can't afford to compete at that level year after year. It risks creating a permanent gap between the rich teams and the rest.
A two-tiered system almost.
Could be. And it's not just the NBA. Bloomberg reported 20% of MLB teams facing debt issues. It's a warning sign about the sustainability of these payrolls across different sports.
Threatens parity, which is something fans generally want.
Definitely. And that brings us back to the fans again. Fan engagement is probably the most critical, maybe the most fragile piece.
How's that?
Well, these skyrocketing salaries, they can create a disconnect. Polls show fans sometimes feeling stars are overpaid or greedy.
That perception issue.
Right. And player movement stars, jumping teams for the biggest contract, can erode that local loyalty that's so important for fan bases.
Like the negative reaction to Durant moving teams again.
Exactly. Hundreds of thousands of negative posts. It shows fans care about loyalty, not just winning sometimes.
And the danger is, if fans feel disconnected,
They might tune out. Viewership dips. And if viewership dips, those massive media deals suddenly look less secure.
undermining the very foundation of the current salary structure.
Precisely. At the end of the day, fan passion is the ultimate currency. Lose that, and the whole model is threatened.
Okay, so let's try to look ahead. 2035 crystal ball time. Given all this, the huge potential, the real risks, where do things land? Billionaire athletes. Or a correction.
Well, the optimistic view, it still points upwards, maybe even faster. That next NBA media deal potentially hitting $100 billion by 2030, that could push the cap towards $200 million, enabling $120 million max contracts.
$120 million a year. Just salary.
Just salary. And in soccer, the Premier League's global reach could mean $150 million yearly deals for the Haalands of the world.
And the new streams adding fuel.
Yeah, esports and betting potentially adding another $5 billion to league revenues. Plus, AI and VR creating those next-level fan experiences, holographic replays, personalized stats, driving more revenue.
So the tech keeps unlocking new value.
That's the idea. Revenue diversification plus tech innovation equals a powerful multiplier effect.
And the athletes' own brands, how does that evolve?
It just gets bigger, more amplified. By 2035, an athlete with, say, 50 million followers, maybe earning $2 million per sponsored post.
Turning themselves into independent media businesses, essentially.
Pretty much. And you might see new sports drone racing, mixed reality leagues, creating their own millionaire stars, blending athletic skill with tech savvy.
A whole new landscape.
But, and this is the crucial but, for this to actually work long-term, it needs balance.
Balance in what sense?
Leagues probably need to manage salary growth somehow. Maybe that idea of capping player salaries at 60% of revenue, something discussed in CBA talks. That could help protect smaller markets, maintain some competitive balance.
So not letting salaries completely run away with all the revenue.
Right. And keeping fans on board.
Right.
Affordable streaming options, maybe $20 passes, so you don't price out the average fan.
Maintaining accessibility.
Exactly. Using tech smartly, too.
Yeah.
Blockchain for ticketing could cut costs, maybe allow dynamic pricing that works for different fans. The savings could go back to teams.
So it's about managing the boom intelligently.
Precisely. Manage the explosion of value without killing the golden goose, the fan's passion.
Okay, so summing up, it really does feel like a high-wire act. Incredible ambition, incredible potential for wealth, fueled by broadcasting, social media, betting, esports. Those $100 million NBA salaries feel plausible now, not just
Yeah,
fantasies.
yeah.
But the risks are just as real. Economic downturns, teams drowning in debt, fans feeling alienated, any of those could derail the whole thing.
It's a fascinating tension. And it raises a really important question for everyone watching or listening. Who wins in this new era? It'll likely be the athletes who master tech and branding, becoming empires unto themselves, and the leagues, the ones that figure out how to balance making huge profits with keeping the soul of the sport, that fan passion, alive. So what's your take? As a fan, where do you land on this? Is the chase for the billion-dollar athlete worth the potential cost?
We genuinely want to hear from you. Comment below, do you agree with our summary? Disagree? Let us know your thoughts, and please share your location in the comments. We're trying to reach sports fans all over the world. Also, if you found this deep dive valuable, please hit like and subscribe to Mind Expansion Daily for more discussions like this. And hey, if you really enjoyed it, consider buying us a coffee. The link is right there in the description. Every bit helps us keep doing this. Thank you so much for joining us on this deep dive today.